It is so beautiful today. Except maybe the cold. It's like 49 degrees outside. But I guess the weather isn't so much. But what's up, you guys? Chet-Guthrie, the Dream Poet here, coming to you all with the first vlog of 2024. And today, you guys, I am out in the middle of nowhere. Well, to be more specific in that, Meigs County, the Decatur area. And today, guys, I figured the best way to start off 2024 is we'd go down a few back roads and we would check out some of the places that I don't think really that many people know about. You see, I mainly got the idea for this video way back in October when I was working on my haunt season series. I came across so many abandoned buildings and so many historical spots while I was out filming my ghostly tales for that season that I figured the moment that I had the chance, I would make a video on it. So you guys, that is why we are out here in the middle of nowhere. A closed off road. Kind of the boonies, more or less. But, real quick, before we start hearing banjo music, check out this. Yes. It is a sweatshirt, a hoodie, if you will, with my logo. I got it as a Christmas present from my mom. My mom is one of the biggest supporters of my channel. By the way, thank you, Mom, so much. I've gotten a lot of comments from friends and family already, which makes me feel good. It goes to show that whenever I have the chance to make actual merch, I know that people are really gonna love it. But anyway, let's get to it. Down here off this back road, not far from Highway 58, going through Decatur, Meigs County, and up into Knoxville, we have this one-lane bridge that is closed off. You see, this is the Henely Mill Bridge, and it was built in 1884. Now, this bridge, it operated for about 120 some odd years. You see, it failed its inspection in 2014, and as a result, Meigs County had to shut it down. And it was slated for demolition. The new bridge would be just up the road from here. However, Meigs County, they did not want to do that. So what they ended up doing is they saved this bridge and they renovated it and they turned it into a pedestrian bridge. There is a family who has a house that is right in front of this bridge, and I found out some very interesting things about this bridge. You see, the land right here, like way back during the days of the Native Americans, the Cherokee, or possibly maybe even the Mississippian period, they would have an encampment in this area protecting them. You see, right over there, you've got the mountains, you've got the stream. There's another area which basically gave the Cherokee or other Native Americans protection in this area. And also, there was a country music video filmed out at this bridge, which I did not know. So there is so much fascinating history about the Kings Mill Bridge, which, by the way, that is another name for the bridge. But what a lot of people know it by is the Henely Mill Bridge. I was talking to the guy who owns the house right beside the bridge, but he was telling me that probably sometime next year this will be open again as a full-on pedestrian bridge. One of the main reasons he said that they had to close it was because you had like all these big trucks and whatnot that were coming across it, and this bridge is really only meant to hold about 3 tons. So I can kind of see why it would have issues if you had that many cars a day running up on it. But just think, there will be a new bridge running along this area sometime next year. That is so, so awesome. This bridge is beautiful. And it does look like they're doing some work right here on it. Which, I mean, that's probably for a future update. But the next video that we're going to be checking out, you guys, or the next place I should say, why did I say video, is, well, not so much awesome. Well, I mean, it is awesome depending on the person. Depending on the person who you are, or what have you may be. Trust me. The family who lives in front of this bridge, this is awesome. But the next house that I'm about to show you, or the next place that we're going here in the Decatur area, Meigs County area, it would probably freak you out if it was right behind your house. Just up this little dirt road right here is something you would not expect to be out here. And as I said back at the bridge, it's something you probably would not want in your backyard. And you all will see what I'm talking about here in a minute as we get up here and make our way up this little dirt road. It looks like it was paved at one point, but y'all see what I'm talking about here in a minute. It is not this big tree stump. This tree is several hundred years old, but I know it was falling apart to begin with anyway, so it was in the process of going. It looks like the family who were out this way, it's like that would actually make some cool furniture if you. But this is what I'm talking about. There is a cemetery right behind this person's house. Now the cool thing about this cemetery is some of these headstones are rocks. So some of these headstones have been around for at least 150, 160 years or so. And some of them, you can tell, are from the 1880s, going back quite a bit of ways. Rocks, rocks. Nothing on the stones per se, but maybe. And they still look pretty decent. Almost kind of wonder if maybe they're slave graves, because I know a long time ago, like way back during the days of slavery, slaves did not exactly get the best headstones. So maybe that's what it is, but I do not know. But again, this cemetery backs up right on this family's house. Again, those are some old graves. Looks like they kind of fall back and forth, like right in this tree area right here. Some of them are extremely old. It looks like they back up as far as being like right up on the house itself. See right there, right there, right there, and well, of course, now we're starting to get on this person's house. So anyway, yeah, this I would find very interesting, now if you were another person, depending on the person who you might be a little bit freaked out by it. But at the same time, if you are a person that loves history and loves this kind of stuff, well, you might think it to be pretty cool. House. Graves. Graves. House. Looks like that is Cora Mae Price, born February 10th, 1931. and died just 3 years later. That's sad. But then again, back in the 30s, I mean, they didn't have like the best health care, but I mean, you have all those. Well, actually, there's one right there, so I'm gonna walk right over here. That way I don't walk on it. Be respectful about it. But yeah, I've said but yeah a lot. And if you don't know, it's also, it backs up right along the riverside. But Godsea. And then you've got some newer ones from like the 40s that are out here. Then you've got ones that are more Victorian, like that one right there. And you've got some other abbreviations of names. Let me see, that one is R.C. Powell, born 1829, passed away in 1891. So he lived a pretty long life for the time period. But probably one that I kind of find interesting is that one that stands out in the middle. And that is Joseph Cohen. Born March 8th, 1808, passed away 1873. And well, there's a little kid statue right there. So let's get out of here. I just find it so weird that you have some of these old school graves backing up right along someone's house. Who would have thought? But the next place we're going to here in the area is something that is a little more for the media if you love the Travel Channel and love historical sites. Now this next one is on the roadside, quite literally, but it's not really a roadside attraction. In fact, it is an old school grocery store. And this grocery store is called Irwins Grocery. And it has been around since, I believe either the 20s or the 30s. It's been around here for quite a while. It is on the National Registry of Historic Sites. And at one point, it also used to have a gas pump. And for a very long time, if you were driving 58 highway going up into the middle of nowhere, this was really the only place you could ever get any groceries. And then, well, the 58 shortstop happened, and anyway, this place shut down for a little while. But it did open up sparsely throughout the years, on and off, on and off. And currently, it is it's an antique store. And this antique store, it has really, really given this thing a second life. In fact, look how old the building is itself. Like, you can tell that it came with a time, or came from a time when you could get like metal that looked like brick, and it wasn't entirely brick. And it's really cool to see that this place is still going strong. And sadly enough, the only times that this antique store is open is during the weekends. But I will tell you, on the inside, it is really, really cool. The second floor at one time was a barber shop. Yeah, I found that out. I came in here over the summer and I was just really curious. And yeah, for a time, there was a barber shop on the second floor. And also, as I mentioned, if you love the Travel Channel, this was featured on the Travel Channel. So yes, this building that you would not expect to have such an interesting history about it, a building that sits here on the road or along the roadside, has an absolutely fascinating piece of history. And also a lot of traffic, or well, not really so much traffic, it's just like it has been going on and on quite a bit. Now there is one more place that we are going to check out here in the area. It's just right down the road, and it's got a really cool piece of Tennessee history about it. So what a great way to celebrate 2024 by checking out the back roads of East Tennessee. I think it's pretty cool. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a running theme throughout the year this year. Don't know yet. Couple of clouds in the sky, an old barn, and a mural from the quilt trail. A lot of cars going by, but not too many. It's just all around peaceful. Peaceful, peaceful. Now I had to pull up on the other side of the road just to see this, and it is a historical marker. And I don't think enough people stop by to read it because it's got a lot of interesting history. I have family just up the road, live like in Pikeville and Crossville. So as a kid, I always passed this sign and I always wondered what it meant until I researched it the other day. It's a really cool piece of history, just probably not in the best spot. And now that we are here on top of the hill, let's talk about the Hiwassee Campground. Early 19th century Methodist revival meetings were held 300 yards southeast on the farm of Thomas Palmer Jr. Later, David Campbell gave 1/4 and 1/4 acres to the Hiwassee Cumberland Presbyterian Campground in church October 1st, 1844. Troops bivouacked here during the Civil War. George Anderson, James County pioneers buried in the campground cemetery 75 feet northwest. So, in this field, right over here, about 300 yards away, 300 feet away, you had a lot of Methodist revival meetings. A lot of a peaceful time back then. Even during the Civil War, you had Civil War soldiers that were out here. And on top of that, you also have a pioneer that is buried 75 feet northwest. So it is somewhere probably on this, probably over there on that private property. Again, might I say, it's probably not the best place to put a historical marker. There's no real way to pull off on the side of the road to see it. And as you all can tell, it's a pretty busy thoroughfare. I'm wondering if there is a way that the state can move this sign and put it somewhere else. That way people can enjoy it and you don't have people driving to and fro and stopping and probably potentially causing a wreck. But anyway, that's just me. But anyway, you guys, what a great way to celebrate 2024, the first vlog of the year. Remember, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Always means a lot. Goes to show that y'all care and that y'all want to see more awesome videos. So without further ado, you guys, this vlog is over.